Well, Amanda, what a show today.
What a show. We put a Channel 9 house hunting program to the pub test. This is a Find My Beach House. I love all those shows. It was revealed on Media Watch last night that things aren't all as they seem. TV being fake, does it matter to you?
That's our next. You'll be saying the couples on Married at First Sight aren't in it for love and marriage.
No.
The sanctity, surely. Also coming up, we speculated what it would be like to be Anthony Albanese calling Donald Trump because it's a big deal. These tariffs are a big deal. There's a lot hinging on it.
Yeah.
And we broke out one of our world-famous role plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should have got the sock puppets.
I don't think we're going to get a call from NIDA anytime soon. Also, Emma Gillespie with That's Entertainment. Louis Theroux has recently done an interview with Armie Hammer. Armie's name was in the news not just because he was an actor, but because he fantasised about being a cannibal with some of his partners, and they've complained about that, amongst other things. Is it okay to ask someone to open up? Because you don't always want to know.
Yeah.
You always don't want to hear their fantasies necessarily.
You tell them to open up and next minute you've got gnaw marks on your leg.
The tribal drum is beating for that.
And Bryan Adams has been cancelled. Not because he wants to eat people.
No, his concert was cancelled in Perth for a very unusual reason. I'll give you this. It was a fatberg, no relation to Christaberg.
That's coming up in this podcast.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it, you nutface?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
What are you, an idiot?
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Top of the morning to you, Amanda.
Well, Sam Kerr has been found not guilty of racial harassment.
We can move on from that.
She can move on from that.
The big full moon.
Oh, I've been reading something this morning, big full moon today. This is what you can expect, apparently, from the full moon. This is what our show's going to be based around today, Brendan, because we're impacted by the full moon.
Yep.
Awakenings and sudden breakthroughs.
Really?
Strong urges to break free from old patterns. We may not even play Roxette. Imagine. Heartfelt conversations and connections. You'd love that.
Right.
You'd love that. Realizations and opportunities for healing. Maybe some of our old hurts could be healed today.
Okay. I was a little bit off kilter today, though, with the moon. I will say this, because the Eastern distributor was closed because they're topping up the fluid for the speed cameras in there. They do the speed camera maintenance.
You can't blame the full moon for that.
And then I got to work, so I had to go through the city through all the traffic lights. And because Clover's got the street, Oxford Street now.
You can't blame the moon for that.
It's 20 kilometres per hour or something like that. So you go like a glacier through the city. And then I got to work here and my pass didn't work.
Oh, that's the sign. You've been sacked.
Have I been sackholed?
How'd you get in?
Tom, new boy Tom.
Tom, didn't you read the email? Jonesy's been sacked. Don't let him in.
I had to check it was him. I wasn't sure.
It was me.
It was you.
So maybe that's part of the full moon fever.
Access to a deeper understanding of our emotional landscape, our heart's desires, and also become a werewolf. That's what happens.
Are you doing this? Sounds like you're doing the stars. Because Channel 7 dropped the stars.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm a bit bummed by that. I was enjoying it.
You know, when they do Dancing with the Stars, why don't they have Here Comes Capricorn? Combine it all.
That could
you
be a
read
thing.
your stars every day. I find that so weird about you.
I just like to see
One
what's
of the
happening.
first things you do is you go to the back of the paper and you read your star sign.
Not the first thing. I go to the gossip column to see what's happened in there.
See what influencers are doing.
See what influencers doing.
And then you read your star sign. And is it ever think you go, yeah, that's what's happening? Is it ever played out to be anything?
Yeah, you get a sense of what's happening in the day.
Like pointing the bone, you do make it happen.
Well,
If it says you're going to be great,
but the stars are written very, very vaguely.
Duh.
Yeah, so it's like
Get yourself a peg basket.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a sore knee. It's never that specific.
This could be a thing
you
that
are
we could
feeling emotions.
incorporate to the show. Maybe we could do the stars. I can't find them anyway.
It's because you're looking in the wrong paper, maybe. Financial Review. I don't know if they have the stars.
Well, not like you. You get the form guide and go straight to the dunny and say, I'll be back in 20. That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Action-packed show today.
Action-packed show today. Emma Gillespie's going to be joining us talking about Armie Hammer.
Oh, what's he
Armie,
done now?
A-R-M-E or Arnie?
Army.
He's pretty much been cancelled in Hollywood because he had fantasies of cannibalism with his
Yeah, I
girlfriend.
think that you probably keep that to yourself. You don't let
But
people
talking
know.
about it and feeling it and fantasising about it isn't the same as doing it.
Yes,
He's been
but-
cancelled as if he's eaten people. He's had to say, hey, folks, I haven't eaten
Yeah,
anyone.
but do you keep it to yourself?
Not Jeffrey Dahmer.
But you keep it to yourself.
No, you're not allowed to. Like, what's your fantasy? What's yours?
I'm not saying it here. It's too much.
Too much.
It's too much. It involves you and a form guide and little else.
Lil Else, the rapper.
Little else racing a Doomben. And we got Instagram making its return, but we can't do anything till we do the Magnificent Seven.
What type of metal is used to make aluminium cans?
Jam Nation. We have for you the Magnificent Seven. There are 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, my little denim-shirted friend Amanda will say,
Have you ever eaten human flesh?
I just think you keep it to yourself. If you've got
If you
some sort
have.
of weird... No, if you've got a weird fantasy that's weird like that, you don't go around telling everyone. That's what you do.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we're like, look at maths. You're encouraged to live out your stories and tell everyone your blah blahs.
And that's what makes great TV.
Yeah. Well, what if they'd said, I have a fantasy about cannibalising someone?
That would be great.
No, then they'd be booted off the show.
Exactly, but it gives us something to talk to. Do you not see? It's all grist for the mill.
Grist, yum.
Dale's in Waterloo.
Hello, Dale.
Morning, guys.
I'm worried about Amanda Dale. She's looking at me and my head is turning into a giant pork chop.
I have no fantasies
With
about
eyes.
eating your head or buttocks or anything.
It's a big pork chop with eyes, googly eyes on it.
I see it more of an empty shell.
Thank you.
Dale, question number 1. What type of metal is used to make aluminium cans?
I'd have to say aluminium.
Aluminium.
How will we go exporting
Brendan,
that to America?
What do you call it?
Aluminium.
Yeah, you've struggled a little.
Will we
while
have
there.
the tariff on it? We'll have to talk about Albo and Donald's conversation. I think we need one of our world-famous role plays
We've
on
never done a role play.
We
Had to be
always do
world-
role plays.
With Armie Hammer and his girlfriend. That didn't go so well.
that. A chicken nugget. Freddie Mercury was the lead singer of which band, Dale?
Queen.
Correct. Let's play What's on the Box.
Television.
I'll turn the box on.
Which show has this theme, Dale?
I'm Peter Overton.
I'm Tara Brown.
I'm Liam Bartlett.
And I'm Liz Hayes. Those stories and Peter Harvey's mailbag now on
Now on
60 minutes.
60.
That was an easy one.
Yeah.
60 Minutes.
Deal or no deal.
Big picture stories and the men who love them.
Top
and the
blokes
people who
and-
want to eat them.
Good Sheilas.
Which was the first country to give women the vote, Dale?
England.
No, it
No.
wasn't England. Sorry.
You'd think it would be, but no,
would
Jackie's
you
in
think
Ingleburn. Well, you'd think that. Jackie would know because you are a woman, Jackie.
Jackie, do you know?
Yes, it's New Zealand.
The Kiwis.
Yes,
what
that's
they do.
right. New Zealand in 1893.
When did we do it?
I don't know, but US was 1920, France was 1944. Not sure when we did it, but good old Kiwis.
Can you vote now? Have you checked?
Yes, I'm allowed to vote, Brendan.
Are you
I'm
sure?
a lucky girl. A lucky girl.
Don't get your britches in a bunch. I'm just saying. True or false? South Africa has 2 capital cities. Is this true or false, Jackie?
True.
No.
Sorry.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Thank you for my cup of tea.
You know what's interesting? In the kitchen here, often there's no tea bags and sometimes there's no coffee bags, but there's a giant stash of green tea that's always replenished.
Who's drinking green?
That's what I'm wondering. Why is there a big chunk there because no one's drinking it, or is that constantly replenished because it's really important? Out of an office this big, who's drinking those green tea bags? I'm intrigued.
Maybe you'll have to go upstairs and knock on K&J's door and see if we can borrow some coffee bags.
No, actually, there were some tea bags and coffee
was it?
bags today.
Because the big fella's, he's off the coffee because of the whole thing. The aneurysm stuff. He's got.
How many coffee? How many? What do
He
you
drinks a
normally
lot.
have
He
day?
drinks about 15.
Has he become a friend of the tea drinkers?
Yeah.
I feel like a lonely outlier as a non-coffee drinker.
I'm taking a leaf out of his book. I'm going to back off the coffee as well.
But you don't have many.
I have about 4 or 5.
Do you?
Yeah.
But you have instant. It's not the same as those really
I'm
big,
not
strong...
a coffee punce. I don't need the whole palaver.
No,
It's
you
like
don't go to a cafe and see if there's sweat on the beans and stuff.
Is that good?
That's what I don't know. I remember someone doing it, and I can't remember if that meant it was bad or good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want sweat on your beans.
I don't think so either.
We are into the Magnificent Seven, and we find ourselves at question number 5.
It's going to Lachlan in Currajong. Hello, Lachlan.
Hello, Jonesy and Amanda.
Lachlan.
True or false? South Africa has 2 capital cities.
False.
It actually has 3.
No.
Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Pretoria. They have one for each branch of government.
No, everything goes so well over there. What currency is used in Mexico, Lachlan?
US.
No, sorry.
Oh, no.
And you always make a joke about this, Brendan. You say, what is, if something's expensive, what is that?
Yeah, you're buying a coffee with sweaty beans.
Yeah.
What is that?
So, yeah.
Nev's in Terrigal.
Hello, Nev. Do you know the currency of Mexico?
Good morning, guys. Is it peso?
Yeah. What is it? Pesos?
What is that, pesos?
Where'd you? I'm sure that's not your joke. Who's you stolen it from?
I got that.
Here we go.
From a Tom Hanks movie.
Okay.
What is that, pesos? It was from the movie Turner and Hooch. And he had the big dog. Remember that? He was a co-op and he inherited the big St. Bernard. And he takes it and buys a big thing of dog
I don't think
food.
it was a St. Bernard.
Whatever that big dog was.
Right.
And the guy he says, it's dog food. What is that, pesos?
How many years ago was that?
The 80s.
Yeah.
Nev,
Listen
do you
to
like
yourself.
it?
That was
You
the
know,
80s.
What, so do I have to analyse everything I say now?
No, but I just know you've stolen it from someone.
Might as well just go to the ABC.
Why don't you?
Which Matilda star, Nev, this is for the cash and prizes of which there are none, was found not guilty in a UK court today?
Sam Kerr.
Sam Kerr.
That's right. And that should never have gone that far. We do have prizes, Brendan. You said there were no prizes and yet there are.
No cash, but great prizes. In fact, this is better than cash, Nev. You've got a double pass to Billy Ocean's One World Tour. Tuesday, 23rd of September at ICC Theatre. Tickets on sale now through Ticketek. A Cocoa Black chocolate pack.
Yum.
Get your last-minute Valentine's Day gift hamper. Valentine's Day, by the way, Nev, is on Friday.
Awesome. I'm sorted now. Thank you very much, guys.
Sorted.
And a Jonesy and Amanda coach for the colouring and some Taylor pencils. I hope those chocks get to Nev before Friday.
We'll make sure they do.
Is that in your department?
No, look, I've got my fingers crossed.
I'm putting it in Amanda's pigeonhole.
I haven't looked in there for a long time.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Sam Nation.
Podcast.
Out of the way, Dobie.
Amanda and Jonesy stay in school and learn school.
It's a genius. That's what the J stands for.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to flick through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1985, Diana Ross released her single, Chain Reaction. It was written, of course, by the Bee Gees, with vocals from Barry Gibb. You know, background vocals, when the Bee Gees are involved, they become the foreground somehow. This song brought global success.
But there was always Robin and Maurice would do the backups and Barry would be the star of the show, wouldn't he, really?
But when you're doing, but that's as the Bee Gees, as the writers and the backup singers, they probably had a slightly different, hey, Maurice, you can stay home today. We only 2 of us are needed.
You mind the house.
Yeah.
You mind
Stay in the car. I'll bring you a shandy. This song, though, spent 3 weeks at number 1 in the UK. And a few years later, the Bee Gees were asked how it made them feel to write successful songs for other people to be successful.
More envious than jealous, because we're not quite sure how strong a record is going to be or how strong the song is going to be. And The Stream is a perfect example of that. Heartbreaker is a perfect example, Dionne Warwick. Chain Reaction is a perfect example of Diana Ross.
Envious and jealousy, that's the same thing.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because, I think he hasn't nailed that. Probably what he meant to say was... but what is, you know...
It's like when you'd go on Spicks and Specs and I'd give you some lines and then you'd use them. I go, oh, hang on, that was my stuff. You know,
that's never happened.
There's a couple of times. Remember the rock spider joke?
Of course you remember the one thing yeah, of course.
But you got a big laugh out of that.
But there's a thing, you know, it's not ill will. There's still a frisson of something. So it's not quite envy.
Yeah. But what's the Bee Gees like? Because they
that's the thing. So the Bee Gees, though, then they recorded it themselves. So have a listen to their version. 10 years later. I kind of like it. Maurice was let out of the car.
I don't know, it's like my rock spider joke. I think if I said it, I would have been in a world of pain. You got away with it because everyone loves you.
Let's play this.
Get it on.
Jam Nation.
I was watching Media Watch last night. We haven't done anything wrong this
We
year.
weren't on it. That's always a relief.
We're doing okay. There's a new host, Linton Besser.
I like him.
I like
him.
this guy.
He's got a lot of gravitas to him.
He's got some hair.
Big head of
He's
hair.
got hair in his hair. People, Larry M. just going, oh, come on. You're just showing off now.
You calling out, film him from the back. Let's see what it's like there.
It's a wall of hair. And I'm not just kissing bot because I don't mind ending up on Media Watch. I like it.
No one likes being on Media Watch.
we've been
it's
on
the
it a
one
couple of
show
times.
that no one wants to be on.
He seems like a nice fella. Do you know him?
No.
Because you're part of the ABC, like the ABC loves you.
I don't know him.
There was a lot of stories about Antoinette Lattouf. This is the journalist that got sacked from the ABC after being on air for 4 days.
3 days. She was filling in for someone for 5 days.
Yep. She's garnered more media minutes in her 3 or 4 days than I have in, how many long have I been doing this for?
Should she have done your rock spider joke? Would that have helped her get over the line?
If I gave her the rock spider joke, that got some big laughs.
The thing
when you were on Spicks and Specs.
The thing with this story is that she only had to do 5 days, and in 3 days, there's an interesting thing that's happening now. She had on her social media some strong opinions about Palestine and Israel. She didn't speak about that on the show, but her social media garnered enough attention that a lot of people lobbied to Ida Buttrose saying time to get rid of her. This has happened again on Australian media and radio recently. Peter Laylaw, a very qualified cricket commentator doing a sports show. He had some stuff on his social media that had nothing to do with what he was talking about on his own show.
What was his stuff?
His stuff, pro-Palestine.
All right.
And he also got the flick. So that's what the biggest story here is. It's an unlawful termination. Should she have been terminated? They said that she broke the social media policy.
Sure.
But were the right steps taken for her to be removed?
Right.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't post any pro-Palestine or pro-Israel stuff because I'm not in Israel or Palestine. If I was concerned about it, I'd go over to Israel or Palestine and then I'd probably go over there and sort it out. But
you sound like Trump. I'd go over there.
I'd go over there. It's not
use my rock spider joke. It'll get you out of anything.
I'm in Australia and that's what it's about. I was probably in it more for just this.
Chairwoman went searching for any excuse to have Lattouf removed.
Oh, right. Is that why you wanted to talk about this morning?
And this.
Taylor agreed removing Lattouf was a bad idea.
You know, you said, I want to talk about this. That's why I said to you, what do you think? And then that's it.
It's just entertainment. Now, do you want to hear my rock spider joke? It sounds better coming from you. Speaking of Media Watch, though, did you see this show? And Shelley Craft, who's a good friend of our show, has she come under fire on Media Watch?
Well, it's an interesting debate, and we might put it to you for the pub test, about some of these real estate shows that are being manipulative.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms for the pub test. And we're talking about the show Find My Beach House. This is Channel 9's house hunting show. It's been accused of staging the property buying process with owners posing as buyers. This came to light on Media Watch, which I'm just loving at the moment. It's got a new host who is fantastic.
Linton Besser.
Great
name, isn't it?
Great head of hair.
Very good head of hair.
Great jokes.
Taylor agreed removing Lattouf was a bad idea.
That's gold.
But you know how these shows work, is that if you're looking for a beach house, or any of these renovation shows do this, Love It or List It, all that stuff, people go and look at a variety of houses, Selling Houses Australia, it's all the same, all the location. You look at a variety of houses and then you decide which one suits you best.
Exactly.
And in this case, it seems that people are buying houses that they already own.
But you wouldn't know that to watch the show.
This house sets the bar really high. When we walked into the house, it was stunning. Like, you're not going to see a duplicate of this.
And then there's the jeopardy.
Oh, we've lost a lot of sleep over this.
For us right now, house number 3 feels like it is the one.
And you're thinking, you're invested in the journey.
But house number 3 was a house they purchased 8 years before and renovated and built themselves.
Some neighbour's gone and dibby-dobbed to Media Watch and media watchers run with the story, and then they got an ex-producer on who said this.
We asked one former Find My Beach House producer how many case studies he knew to be faked.
I honestly don't know. Half is probably right, but all house hunting shows it's the only way we can get it done.
Although the head producer, Gary, the CEO of Abode Entertainment, he seemed to make it all make sense.
To enhance storytelling and ensure a satisfying viewing experience, we sometimes reverse engineer the house hunting process. This means the buyers have already purchased their home before filming, and we then showcase additional properties to capture their reactions and insights authentically.
No idea what that means. But what he does say is that they people who already own houses and work backwards. My brother was telling me about... he knows some people who had already bought their house and then they were approached by one of these shows and they had to pretend that they were looking at it and deciding whether to buy it or not. So the same thing is happening all over the place. So these people had bought a house 8 years ago, bought land, they built a house. They didn't buy it, they built it to their absolute specifications. They're filmed walking and going, wow, I love it. And then a week later, they list it. So it's a giant ad. There was another example of people who were they'd already owned the house, they'd bought it months before, and then the week after that show went to air, they listed it for Airbnb for $4,000 a week. It's seen as advertising for them. Mm-hmm. Does it matter to you? I'm a big real estate perv. I love all these shows. Sure. You'd like to think the journey is real.
So you want real journey?
I want real journey.
So that doesn't bother me. It's all part of entertainment.
It's like Married at First Sight. You know it's fake and yet people don't care.
Yeah, because it's
like wrestling.
Yeah, but on our show, everything is real.
Oh, it's all very, very real.
Yeah.
So what about this? Knowing this about the show, does it still pass the pub test? Does it matter to you? It's a big deal on Media Watch, but does it matter to you?
Jam Nation. We're on the air.
Josie's always knocking Amanda.
Give it to me.
And Amanda always knocking Josie.
You stupid man.
No pressure on Albo with that phone call to Donald Trump. What would be the first thing you'd say? Donald Trump's on the line. What's the first thing you say?
So stressful. You know what I'm like is I'm full of blather.
Yeah.
But the minute I have to confront someone, oh, hi.
Yeah, you always...
Please be nice to us.
The more you hate someone, the higher your voice goes.
Does it, Brendan?
I think we'll have to role play that
a
little bit later on the show. Oh, we love a role play.
I'm not wearing that outfit.
Oh, come on.
French maids are so 80s.
Come on. Also coming up, Em Gillespie's going to be joining us. The pub test, the TV show Find My Beach House has been found out as fake.
Well, they've reverse engineered it all. People are looking and saying, I love this house. That's because you built it 8 years ago.
Are you saying fake stuff on TV?
And does it matter? That's what we're asking you in the pub test next.
What are you saying next? Married at First Sight? People are getting married just to be married and not on TV? Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that next.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I want you to get up right now.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy and Amanda Arms to the pub test. Fake reality TV. Does it pass the pub test?
Well, in particular, a show called Find My Beach House. This is a Channel 9 show where people are shown a variety of houses and they have to pick the one that speaks to them.
This house sets the bar really high. When we walked into the house, it was stunning. Like, you're not going to see a duplicate of this.
And these shows, they're going to have some jeopardy. Like, you watch stuff like Outback Truckers. If Daryl doesn't get into Mika Farah by 6, he's going to lose his
Who's
bonus.
Mika Farah?
That's the town in Western Australia.
What a relief.
So, and naturally, Daryl gets into Mika Farah by 6, but that's the jeopardy.
Oh, we've lost a lot of sleep over this.
For us right now, house number 3 feels like it is the one.
And you know why it's the one? Because they bought it 8 years earlier and they've built it themselves.
And they would have got away with it if it wasn't for that meddling neighbour who's watching Find My Beach House. He goes, hang on, I've lived next door to these people for 8 years.
I've watched them build it.
And he's ratted them out to the cops, i.e. Media Watch.
We asked one former Find My Beach House producer how many case studies he knew to be faked.
I honestly don't know. Half is probably right, but all house hunting shows it's the only way we can get it done.
Nothing would get done otherwise.
Does it matter? I know Harley was devastated when he found out that what's that show that you buy whatever's behind in
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars, like a Kennard storage.
That's
It's like,
all
I'll take
bullshit.
lock number 52.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I found Elvis Presley's buttocks. It's all staged, and he was horrified to hear it.
Harley worked in TV.
I know. He's
He
faked
knows.
stuff himself.
He's faked heaps of stuff.
How do you feel knowing all of this? Does it pass the pub test?
Oh, do you know what? I used to say yes. Don't worry if it's a little bit fake. We all love it. But I'm a previous maths watcher, and that is all set up. Nothing's real. And I just think if it's not real TV, stop putting it on air. It gets boring.
It's just a show, It's like Outback Truckers and Opal Finders. They're all rigged, There's a camera everywhere.
I think that if anybody's watching TV because they think it's real, they're out of their mind. Just watch the show because they're entertaining.
Everything on this show is real. The anger that Amanda feels towards me is real.
Sure, we recorded all of this a week ago, but that's how it goes.
Jam Nation.
Well, President Trump has called Anthony Albanese a very fine man.
He got the Chinese guy called him, President Xi called him handsome boy.
Yeah.
Albo's doing all right.
He's doing all right on the international stage. They had a conversation yesterday, obviously, about tariffs. Ronald Reagan said, we will never have trade wars with our allies. Neck minute, well, not neck minute, but here we are, Canada, possibly Australia.
Yeah, but we're good because
we take more than we
take
give.
their surplus.
Yeah, and President Trump has said, I spoke to him, he's a very fine man, he has a surplus. We have a surplus with Australia, one of the few, and the reason is they buy a lot of aeroplanes. And listen to this next sentence. This is the kind of insights that let you know that we're in safe hands. They're rather far away and they need a lot of aeroplanes.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
It makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. When you read something like that, you go, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
He's right.
It begs the question, though, because I look at Albo and I think, imagine he's this young kid from Marrickville and now it all comes down
Talking to a TV star in America, a guy who's a TV host.
He's got a lot of pressure. There is a lot of pressure on him. Really, it hinges, the next election hinges on him. It all comes down to Albo.
Yeah, of course.
But this, if he comes back from that phone call and we don't get the deal.
Well, the thing is, it's not a done deal, though. President Trump has said there will be tariffs right across the board. And we're saying, oh, look, come on, give us a break. Just give us a break. We take more than we give you, blah, blah, blah. And he has said, I'll give it some consideration, and then signed a decree about 10 minutes later saying no exemptions.
I know what happened there.
He's a very nice man. Who was he again? I can't remember. Remind me again of how far away they are.
Let's role play this. I like our world famous role play.
We've never done it before. How can it be world famous?
I'll be, which one do you want to be? You want to be Albo or?
I know who you want to be. You want to be President Trump.
Well,
don't do the voice though.
I can't do it. Sometimes in my head I got it, but no, I'm not going to do it.
Well, what are we role playing?
Okay, you're ringing me. So I'm sitting in the White House, you ring me. What's the first thing you say?
The thing is, I probably wouldn't call, I'd rather text. All right, say it's happened. Say it's happened.
Okay, I'm in the White House. Hello.
Hi. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
You're no good at this.
No, that's the thing. All right,
We're playing for sheep stations here.
Literally. What he actually did, and he said, how's your golf going?
Yeah, I'd go straight with that. And I'd instantly say, it's good. I had a tremendous day out on the course. It was great.
What about that Super Bowl, which is apparently what Anthony Albanese said?
We had one of your guys from down under there.
Wow. I don't know if he said that, but that's good.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, you got to kiss my bum.
I know.
Yeah,
that's the thing. This job, this is where you're in a unique position.
Let's
because you may have said other things privately, but you have to kiss bum.
Yeah, let's flipperoo. You're Trump.
All right.
I'm Albanese.
I don't want you to kiss my bottom.
I don't know.
Okay, so you start.
Okay. Hello, President Trump.
Hello.
It's Anthony Albanese.
Who?
From Australia, Prime Minister.
Is that place that's a long way away?
Great game of Super Bowl the other night.
Thank you. Didn't I do well?
One of our boys were there.
Yeah, but it's the best Super Bowl there's ever been because I was there.
He's a South Sydney junior and he's a great...
Who is this again?
This is Anthony Albanese.
Who?
And I'm just wondering how you're going with the tariff. By the way, how's the golf?
My golf is great. Good. Thank you for asking.
What are you playing off now?
Well, some sex worker's bottom.
No. Okay. You look well.
Thank you.
Have you lost weight?
See, this is what you would do. You would go up to people not you as Anthony Albanese, you as you, and you say, hey, and you touch their bicep and you say, you look great. Have you been working out? Have you been working out is your go-to.
I don't touch
even to someone who has never worked out in their entire life.
Unless it's like a beast, like it's like Knowlesy or Mark Geyer.
You always do.
Because those guys are huge.
You touch their biceps and say, you've lost weight.
No,
Have you
God,
been
look at
looking
your arms. What are you, bench pressing cars? That's what I'd say.
And actually, Donald Trump would probably like that.
Yeah, and then Bango, President or Prime Minister Jonesy, has saved the day.
You are wasted, obviously.
But how many people do you know who are incompetent at their job, absolutely hopeless, but they stick around because they're a good guy?
Didn't some boss once say that about you years ago? When you told me this, that they said to Helen, he's here because we like him.
I was a spray painter and a welder, and I wasn't very good at either. Actually, I was better as a spray painter. And Helen said, why do you keep him around? He goes, he's just entertaining.
You are the court jester. But you know, this was this phone call probably wasn't. No, you hang up. I wish I was your tampon. That's not how it went.
What the hell?
That's the worst phone call of all time. That was the worst phone call of all time.
This just came out of the blue. What the hell's wrong with you?
Anyway, there's a lot of the phone calls are recorded. President Nixon decided he wanted to have the most archived presidency ever. So he allowed all the phone calls in the White House to be recorded for a big period of time, for years and years and years. President Lyndon Johnson has made a hilarious call to a pants manufacturer. We'll play it for you next.
Jam Nation.
The White House and its secrets. For a period of time, for a couple of decades there, every conversation in the Oval Office was recorded. Lyndon B. Johnson, who took over after JFK was assassinated, was having a conversation with his tailor. It seems like a very basic conversation, but it's quite fascinating. Have a listen.
When you hear it back.
Mr. Hager, Joe, is your father the one that makes clothes?
Yes, sir. We're all together.
You all made me some real lightweight slacks that he just made up on his own, sent to me 3 or 4 months ago. It's a kind of a light brown and a light green, rather soft green and soft brown.
Yes, sir.
Now, I need about 6 pairs for summer wear.
Yes, sir.
To wear around in the evening when I come in from work. I want them a ½ inch larger in the waist than they were before, except I want 2 or 3 inches of stuff left back in there so I can take them up. I vary 10 to 15 pounds a month. Make the pockets at least an inch longer. My money and my knife and everything fall out. Wait just a minute. Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me an inch that I can let out there. But see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole. So I can let it out there if I need to.
And that's
history.
real.
That's history. Bunghole, burping, nutsack, it's all there. Tom, what's going on?
New boy Tom was waving his hands around.
You guys know LBJ was well known for his large penis, correct?
No.
Oh,
well,
he called
obviously.
it jumbo.
How do you know?
Well, I'm a LBJ, fan. I know all this.
Because of this?
Well,
yeah, all the way with LBJ.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So he named it Jumbo in college, and in meetings, he would just take it out and wag it at people.
Really?
Yeah. There was one time when a bunch of reporters were pressuring him, like, why are we in the Vietnam War? And he unzipped his fly, drew out his substantial organ, and declared, this is why.
What?
This is why.
He had a custom shower head put in at crotch level just to clean Jumbo.
Oh, I see that on the block.
That could be
Shane Blaze, what's this?
Put that on.
Well, look, Clinton got his out in the Oval Office for different results. What a story, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
That's value added.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
I demand entertainment. Are you not entertained?
Put on your dancing shoes.
Now give me your best shot.
From the Daily Oz, here she is, Emma Gillespie.
Hello. Army Hammer is back in the headlines. He's doing a comeback, I guess, mission. He spoke to the one and only Louis Theroux on his podcast. Now, in case you forgot, Army Hammer is a very tall man. He's
handsome.
An actor, a very handsome, strapping young lad known for his prominent roles in films like The Social Network, Call Me By Your Name.
Was he in Lone Ranger?
Yes, he was. He was in Death on the Nile, the Agatha Christie 2022 movie. But months before that one came out, allegations came to light that stopped his career in its tracks. He was accused of rape, physical abuse, coercive control. A number of women came forward with very confronting allegations. We had a series of text messages leaked, and in those messages, Army spoke about cannibalism. He said, I am 100% a cannibal. I've never admitted that before. It's scary to admit. I've cut the heart out of a living animal before and eaten it while it was still warm. Anyway, he was roundly cancelled. The LAPD investigated him. Ultimately, there was insufficient evidence to proceed with
So they
charges.
actually investigated him?
There was a full investigation.
Not at the cannibalism. It would have been the rape allegations.
Yes, so the abuse and the assault allegations. But the charges were dropped. They didn't proceed. So he wasn't necessarily cleared, but there was insufficient
But he's not going to be on
evidence.
MasterChef anytime soon.
Well, exactly.
But can I just say, he sounds like a nut.
Well,
like people that eating an animal's live beating heart.
I will
So
leave
was
that to
RFK
you.
Jr.
I will leave that
Did
to
he
you
eat
to
a live
determine.
beating heart too?
He's been eating Anna. Yes.
Don't get me started on RFK Jr. How
Does it-
big's your freezer, Jonesy? Anyway.
I know about the whale head and the raw milk.
Army Hammer is back, and he spoke to Louis Theroux. He kind of said, he thinks it's important to go to uncomfortable places, talk about things that are uncomfortable, be a bit vulnerable. And Louis asked him about kind of his relationships. He'd had an affair, a long affair over a period of years in his 9-year marriage, and then a series of kind of what he called whirlwind romances. Here's a little bit about what Army had to say about that period.
People were sort of like my bags of dope with skin on them, You make me feel amazing, so I'm going to throw everything into this, and we're going to have this whirlwind romance, and I'm going to whisk you up, and we're going to go on trips, and we're going to do all this, and then I'm going to bring you home, and I'm going to go, thanks so much, that was great, and then I'm going to move on. And then I would go do something almost exactly the same with someone else.
Bags
and I
of
left a lot of people in that wake very angry.
So he described the bags of dope with skin on them.
Yeah.
That Valentine's Day card's going to be beautiful.
I'm going to bring you home. I'm going to put you in a pot and
He
chop
did
up some carrots.
concede to this kind of toxic love bombing behaviour, and that's how he described his relationship with women. But he denied that this behaviour was criminal. He kind of said, a lot of people were really mad at me. I acted like an a-hole. I was a dick, but that's not illegal. He was like, I have no problem admitting that I wasn't a good partner, but I didn't do anything wrong. Louis really pressed him on some of the weirder aspects, I guess. We did ask him about the eating the animal heart. He denied that he ate an entire animal heart, which thank God he's cleared the air on that.
I order.
But he said that it was this weird male charged rite of passage where you go hunting for the first time, and apparently everyone knows that when you go hunting for the first time, you take a bite out of the heart of the first thing that you kill. So he has eaten the heart of an animal.
So has everyone who's gone on that TV show Alone. If you could eat a heart, you would.
Oh, because you're starving to death.
Well, yeah, I guess it's better than nothing.
I ate an artichoke heart once. Does that count?
That classic male rite of passage, that toxic masculinity strikes again. By the end of the interview, though, we kind of went through a lot of these allegations. I don't really feel like Army took a lot of responsibility. He sort of blamed it on everyone else, blamed the affair on his wife, saying that, the marriage was unhappy and she wasn't putting in the work, said that he had sort of all these relationships with women where he followed their lead. He only ever did what they wanted to do, and that they kind of changed their mind afterwards. He used the phrase, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, which I'm sure a lot of women are rolling their eyes at hearing right now. But by the end, he was actually quite defensive to Louis. Louis Theroux asked him, if Army Hammer had anything that he wanted to ask or anything to say about the interview. Here's what Army then said.
I don't love the way the interview started, just to be perfectly honest. I'm not crazy about drudging up all of this stuff, because for me, a lot of these issues have been resolved, whether it be legally or within myself. And I feel like a lot of those waters have settled. I think doing things like that stirs up the water again unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Was Louis looking like a giant chicken leg in that interview?
And why go on that show to think that stuff's not going to come up?
Well, I mean, I'll remind you that at the start of the interview, Army Hammer himself said that he's found over the last few years that those things that make you uncomfortable are actually the things you should lean into. And Louis literally said, I'll take that as, my cue to make things a little more uncomfortable. So anyway, I guess...
What do humans taste like?
What do they taste like? Let's grill up some flesh and find out.
If
Hey?
Army takes you out for dinner, Just be aware, okay?
Yeah.
I would run. I would be running, ladies.
We asked you to take a bath. Don't let him heat it up.
If he puts the chicken stock in the bath, get out of there, girls.
Em, thank you. Em Gillespie. Check her out at the Daily Oz.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Damn Nation
Podcast.
Doing it for the gram right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Coin, cash.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
Gold. Luke is in Spring Farm to play Instagram. We have 60 seconds on the clock, 10 questions you can pass if you don't know an answer. We'll come back to that question if time permits. You get all the questions right, you win $1,000.
You can make it $2,000 by answering a bonus question, but it is double or nothing. Hello, Luke.
Good morning, Jonesy. Good morning, Amanda.
Hello, Luke. Let's see if we can give you some money today.
Yep.
We've got 10 questions, 60 seconds. If you're not sure, say pass. We usually have time to come back, okay?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, Luke, good luck because here we go. Here comes question number 1. Who is our Prime Minister?
Albanese.
Question 2. How often does a leap year occur?
Every 4 years.
Question 3. Almonds are a type of what?
Nut.
Question 4. Who won the 2025 Super Bowl?
Philadelphia Eagles.
5. True or false? Yum cha is a Japanese cuisine.
Pass.
Question 6. 911 is the emergency number in which country?
America.
Question 7. What type of animal is a puffin?
Pass.
Question 8. In the movie Bridget Jones' Diary, who plays Mark Darcy?
Pass.
Question 9. Kate Bush has a song based on which famous novel?
Pass.
Question 10. In what sport would you use a fly and a rod?
Fishing.
Let's go back to 5. True or false? Yum cha is a Japanese cuisine.
True.
No, it's Chinese.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, plops.
On the buzzer, pretty much.
Would you have known what kind of animal a puffin is if you had a bit more
I
time?
was going to say a dragonfly or something like that.
No, it's a bird.
Little birdie.
bird.
Ah, yes.
And Colin Firth plays Mark Darcy. A woman probably would have known that. And Kate Bush, her song Wuthering Heights.
Yep. Can I just send out a cheerio? Can I just send out a cheerio to the boys at Tilsley's?
Of course you can.
Toot,
Of course you can.
toot.
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 To the boys at Tilsley's.
Of course you can.
Okay, well, good.
Well, Luke, thanks for the toot toot. When you join them today, make sure you're all singing Wuthering Heights.
I can imagine that on the side. Thank you, Luke.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Damn Nation
podcast.
I find it quite fascinating with Armie Hammer, and obviously he has a lot of issues that were investigated about sexual assault of women, etc. But the thing that people speak about is the cannibalism. And he has said, I've never eaten human flesh, I've never done it. It was a ridiculous, light-hearted fantasy conversation. And on all these shows, Married at First Sight and in often the modern world, you're encouraged to explore your fantasy life. You know, I can't be bothered, to be frank. I'm happy to have a packet of salt and vinegar chips and watch a good movie.
That's your fantasy life?
It pretty much is. And yet a lot of people are told to explore all of this. And yet if you do and you send a text regarding that or you explain that to your partner, it doesn't always go as planned and next minute you cancel.
Yeah, probably. We have a lot of intrusive thoughts and it's been well documented. Some people say they'll pick up a hammer and they feel like smashing someone in the head with it.
Yeah.
These are the intrusive thoughts that we have in our minds and everyone has that.
Everyone has them.
It's like when you stand on a high, like at a cliff
Yeah,
and
and you feel there's a
there's someone
pull to
next to you, you
jump
think if I
over.
push that person off, that's the intrusive thoughts that you have.
That's right.
But you don't articulate it. You don't go. Firstly, you don't push the person off. Secondly, you don't say it out loud. I'm going to push you off. You don't do that.
No, but the internet has encouraged people to say everything they want to say. That's how you can connect with people on the internet who want to eat human flesh. You can connect with someone who says, I've got a right ear I don't want. Does someone want to sew it onto their back? We've encouraged everyone to explore their dark heart.
Yeah. Just keep it to yourself. Let's go back to the good old days of the 40s where everyone kept their pie hole shut.
Well, maybe they didn't, but
Uncle
that's the
Harry,
illusion
like
we
the
have.
company of men, he just likes hanging around with the guys.
No one said anything.
Uncle Pete wears a dress. Actually, I can't feel that.
Maybe someone has opened up to you in a way you weren't expecting, and it doesn't have to be rank like I want to eat your flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someone wanted to wear a nappy. Maybe someone said they that they wanted to get 18,000 parking tickets in your car. That's their fantasy. I asked them to open up, but I wasn't expecting that.
Trouble, Pete, for this.
People were sort of like my bags of dope with skin on them.
Okay.
Jam Nation.
What about that Army Hammer? He was in that movie Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp.
He was very handsome.
I think we interviewed him at some
I think
stage.
we interviewed him for Lone Ranger.
We did too, and he seemed quite nice.
Yeah, remember he nibbled on my ear?
There was a point where I think he just was looking at us and we turned into two giant T-bone steaks with eyes.
He said he's not a cannibal.
He's not a cannibal.
But he has fantasized about it. And he says if you took anyone's conversations from their phones that are made in a lighthearted, funny, sexual, provocative way, take out their part of the conversation, take the context out of it, all of us would be cancelled in some way. But, you know, shows like Maths and a lot of modern sexuality talks about sharing all your innermost fantasies. But sometimes you don't want to hear it.
Probably keep it to yourself. The tribal drummer's beating. I asked them to open up, but I wasn't expecting that.
People were sort of like my bags of dope with skin on them.
Stella has joined us.
Stella, what happened?
Oh, hi. So I had been dating my now husband for about 3 months, and I was over his place and we were just casually talking, and we were actually in the bathroom, and he was just having a general conversation about, you know, the day and stuff. And he just stopped and then looked at me and said, I would make a really good torturer. And I just looked at him and he went back to doing what he was doing, and I said, I probably wouldn't say that out loud to anyone else. But we have been married for 20 years, so, you know, things did turn out all right.
Some people might have said red flag, but it's all been okay.
So he's cleaning his teeth, stops mid-cleaning teeth.
You know what?
I'd make a great torturer.
Then goes back to the cleaning the molars.
And this is, are you married at this stage?
No.
Yeah. That was 3 months in.
Yeah.
No, we'd only been together about 3 months, but we have now been married for 20 years.
Right. Did you think at any moment...
Yeah. there's been worse things said since then, but that was the first one.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I want you to open up and be completely honest with me. Apart from that bit.
It's when your bed turned into a rack. Thanks,
Thank you, Stella. Roxy, what happened when your partner opened up?
Well, I can now say I am not married to this partner.
Right.
But I'd say about 10 years ago, I was dating this guy. I'm a bit of a plain Jane, I'll be the first to admit. So when he was a real good looker, I thought, wow, things are, you know, what have I done to deserve this? It's perfect. Nothing can go wrong here. I was quite smitten, and he asked me, did I want to do some role play?
No.
Not my thing, but when you're slowly falling in love, I thought, look, you've got to give it a go. Everyone's got their different pleasures. And I was thinking, you know, none, etc. He goes into the bedroom. It's his turn to dress up first. And he came out dressed like a nun. That was the end.
So
not a priest.
No.
He walked out as a nun. And I thought, okay, done. Nice to meet you.
Really? Is that where it ended? You didn't explore it with him?
Too good. I did not call him back after that experience.
Roxy, if he'd come out dressed as a priest, how would have that felt?
Oh, it wouldn't have felt as weird, but I still, given what you hear in the news, it still would not have sat well.
Well, because the Thornbirds, that was all about hot priests.
And the hot priest in Fleabag.
There you go.
Yeah, but Nun says he's after something else here.
Yeah, Nun is.
Yeah, I would have gone to do my homework. Hit me around the back of the legs with a ruler.
I had a friend once and she said that she met this nice guy and they were together and he said, can you spank me? And then so he laid across her lap and she's spanking him and then looked in the mirror like a wardrobe mirror, looked at herself spanking this grown man. And he just went, this isn't for me.
Well, see, we're all encouraged to open up and share things. How do you feel when someone does?
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
The APRA goes to Jonesy and Amanda. Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
When those two go on leave, I rejoice.
We all have intrusive thoughts. That's human. Possibly a good idea to keep them to yourself.
Well, these days we're encouraged to share that stuff. Armie Hammer did that, shared his fantasies about cannibalism. He gets cancelled.
Funny that.
He says, I never wanted to do it. I just spoke about it. Maybe it's best not to speak about these things. The tribal drum is beating for. I asked them to open up, but I wasn't expecting that.
People were sort of like my bags of dope with skin on them.
Happy Valentine's.
Jemima has joined us.
Hi, Jemima. What did you hear when someone opened up?
Well, I met up with a guy off a dating site several years ago. And, you know, kind of in a club after dinner, you know, maybe it's going to go further. And, you know, we're just talking about stuff, and he randomly asked me to choke him.
Oh, to choke him?
Were you even in bed? Were you in bed?
No, in the club at this point. I was just thinking, oh, my God, okay, I probably could, but I'm not going to. I didn't say that, and I was thinking about it. And I thought, I asked him if he wanted a drink. He said yes. I went up to the bar and I legged it.
Oh, you would have got out of there.
And so
that would be, that's...
That is the new thing that a lot of young girls are finding themselves in a position where they are being choked during sex. It's autoerotic asphyxiation, but this power play, and it's quite terrifying. But interestingly, he said to you, Jemima,
this is the reverse.
Do you want to choke me? And we're not even in bed. We're just sitting up in the bar.
Yes. No, we're at the bar. We're kind of like in a little, like, cubic kind of area. And I said, I asked him if he wanted a drink. So, you know, he thought he was kind of in. So he was kind of sitting there waiting for me to come back, and I legged it. And blocked.
Straight out.
Yeah.
That's a... So
and also, it's very ill in a relationship to share your fetish. 10 minutes.
Because you're always going to choke me, but I don't ask for it.
I've seen you play golf. You choke yourself.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Bryan Adams has been in Australia doing a series of concerts. He was supposed to perform in Perth the other night, but the venue had to cancel for the most unusual of reasons.
What's Bryan done?
Well, nothing that he did. It was about a water blockage outside the Perth Arena. Not just a water blockage, but a fatberg in the sewer underneath.
Yeah.
It was a build-up of fat, grease and rags in the sewerage system known as a fatberg, brother to Christaberg. So fatbergs are massive. This is my research. Fatbergs are massive globs of congealed cooking fat, grease and other waste.
I've seen a fatberg up close.
How big was it?
Well, they can be the size of an ice cream container, like a 4-litre ice cream container. So if someone puts commercial cooking food into the drain.
And wet wipes and rags.
And it all congeals because the fat solidifies in the sewer.
Yeah.
And then that keeps collecting as you said before with the wet wipes. And then you got yourself a fatberg.
The fatbergs can be massive.
In the London sewers, as big as a London bus.
Wow. So they're expensive and tedious to remove. And what they felt was that they couldn't trust that this wouldn't explode through the toilets during the concert.
And I don't want to be a big greenie or anything, but don't put your oil down the sink.
And your wet wipes.
Yeah.
Don't cook with wet wipes. In Italian food, it tastes terrible. But imagine that. Imagine Christaberg is in mid-concert.
Christaberg?
Did I say what I said?
Here we go. Imagine if a fatberg erupted at Christaberg.
Yeah, it's too much to bergs.
And then Dire Straits and Chris Rea were touring.
What's that? Diarrhea. It's your dream.
This would be
It's your super group. So imagine that Bryan Adams is performing.
Yep.
And this fatberg is just roiling underneath the toilet. Next minute.
Oh, can I play?
Yeah, you do it.
What about?
Everything I do it for you.
One more. Here it is. The screams.
I've seen a Bryan Adams concert. And
Was it like a fatberg?
I was wishing for a fatberg to explode.
Jam Nation.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the ghoulies get together.
Fancy $20,000. That's what you'll win if you're our favourite ghoulie of the year.
What have we got today?
Want to know what really gets my ghoulies? These big e-bikes, especially children under the age of 16, riding them on the roads, on the streets, in supermarkets. Sometimes they don't have a helmet on. The way I see it, if you can't get your licence until you're over 16, why are these young kids under the age of 16 on the roads?
True.
Well, it is 16, isn't it? Is that the cut-off? What is the rule?
On the footpath?
Or if you've got an e-bike, if you're under 16, what can you...
You can do whatever the hell you want.
You can't go on the road, though, can you?
Yeah, you can. You can go on the road, you go on the
footpaths?
footpath. It's
if
a
you're
life.
under 16, you can go anywhere.
I'd like to go back to being under 16. That'd just be easy. It's just you do whatever the hell you want. Although I did see a kid pulling a very good wheel stand the other day on his e-bike. I went, wow, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like about a kilometre-long wheel stand.
What else?
I was very impressed.
Why is it when people go up to a counter, maybe buying a coffee or a sandwich or something like that, why do they insist on just standing there after they've been served? They hold up the whole line. 9 times out of 10, they're on their stupid mobile phones and nobody else can get served. You ignoramuses, move to the pickup or the collection point. How inconsiderate.
It's true. Then you get a bit of a what about me situation, as foretold in the song.
It's almost like the people that stand around the luggage carousel right up the front and no one else can see what the luggage is. Often at cafes too, if people do that, then it's your turn and you haven't been able to see all the cakes and the sandwiches and things because the counter's been blocked.
You're standing by that person and you say, you been served? I go, yeah. Well, what are you doing there?
What are you doing there?
Bugger lugs. Out with the bad and with the good. If you dipped out, you can always contact us via the iHeartRadio app. Go to Gold 1017, press the microphone, record your ghoulie. It's 3 to 9.
Our favourite caller, email, or Facebook friend wins a double pass to see Keith Urban, his High and Alive tour. Kudos Bank Arena, August 22 and 23. Tickets are on sale now at keithurban.com.
Jonesy and Amanda, T-Towel and Keyring coming your way as well. Armie Hammer has opened up to Louis Theroux on those cannibalism claims. Those old things.
He has said he never ate anybody. But I haven't either. Does anyone want to ask me? But he has said that his comments have been taken out of context. They were maybe flirty. And often these days, you're asked to explore what your turn-ons are. Yeah. But you don't always want to hear what someone's going to tell you.
The tribal drum was beating for, I was asking them to open up, but I wasn't expecting that.
People were sort of like my bags of dope with skin on them.
Okay, mate. Roxy from DY said that she had been dating a man for a relatively short period of time and he wanted to role play.
And he came out dressed like a nun. That was the end. I did not call him back after that experience.
If Roxy had wanted to have chalk thrown at her, it would have been a perfect combination.
She didn't balk it if he came out dressed as a priest, though.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Each to their own. Needy or Greedy is next with Ugly Phil.
Yay! And we're back from 6 tonight for Jam Nation.
We'll see you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.